Kansas City's classic rock station for 30 years, 101 The Fox. Good morning, Slacker with you here on the Slacker Morning Show, 576-77FX. Can you even imagine what it might be like to have a child who you find out is being bullied in school? Being a parent, I don't even want to know that feeling. But in the studio with me is Charlie Tietgen. He is the father of a very remarkable young woman and athlete, Claire Tietgen. Both of them joined me this morning. Claire, welcome to the Slacker Morning Show.
Thank you.
And the man to your right is your dad, Charlie Tietgen. Charlie, welcome to the Slacker Morning Show.
Glad to be here.
I invited you both down because you each have a unique perspective with regards to bullying. Recently, headlines were made in the north of the river area with regards to bullying that almost became deadly. This isn't the kind of bullying that maybe we used to remember as kids, maybe a little teasing here and there. This is some serious bullying, and statistically, it is on the increase. And of the individuals who are being bullied, statistically, about half of the severely bullied individuals will contemplate suicide. So this is something that affects our children. And Claire, take us to the beginning with you and when bullying started.
It all happened by me being bullied. Last year, I got punched in the face by a boy. And then they would say mean comments like, you don't belong here, you should go home, you look depressed, and all of this stuff that with my depression, and shove me and just say naive, mean comments that you should not hear.
It's interesting that you say naive because generally most bullies are ignorant as to what they're doing. Now, it's not the case with everyone, because bullying, as I mentioned earlier, is on the rise, and it is on the increase in its severity. Why do you think you were a target?
I think it's from kindergarten, when you see the first person and you can see the people who stand out, and I was the one who stand out because I had more confidence, and I was more confident to say, hey, I'm Claire Tietgen, nice to meet you, Clay, and all of this.
Sure.
I got into the details quick.
Talking this morning about bullying, the very real problem, and in the studio with me is Claire Tietgen, sharing with us her experience about being bullied. Another perspective is being the parent of a child being bullied. And Charlie Tietgen in the studio. Charlie, what was that like for you?
Well, I mean, we realized it early on that it was a problem and that she's being targeted. So we went through the normal, I guess, chain of command where you went to the teachers and the school principal, and then the IEP, which is kind of a special thing the school has, the counseling, and with really not the results we had hoped for. And so we just worked as a family to build confidence in her the best we could. But we knew she was being excluded. No play dates, no birthday parties. And then it really came to a head at about a year ago when we discovered a diary, discovered notes that she had written hidden in her closet and under her bed that talked about suicide, wanting to die.
I can't even imagine what that was like for you and your wife and family. And more importantly, the inner struggle and pain that Claire endured. And this story could have taken a tragic end. Claire could have been a statistic, but she met Austin.
Austin Ford is my coach. I've been wrestling for him and his gym about a year. As soon as I met him, I knew that he could help, but I didn't know how. He was like, come here and let's see what you can do. And so I went there and did the first class. Of course, I wasn't good at basically anything. So this was my first time. Went to wrestle his son Max, and of course I didn't beat him, but I was strong enough to hold him down. So it was very impressive what I could do.
You've impressed a lot of people, Claire. For the last year, you've been learning the art of jiu-jitsu with Coach Austin and building yourself externally and, more importantly, internally. And you caught the eye of some of your UFC heroes. Share with us about where you were this last week.
I just came from LA, Los Angeles, and the UFC have taken me out to Los Angeles and met the finest woman I've ever met, the world champion, Ronda Rousey, and she's my idol, and most people think that I look like her, which now I'm seeing a little bit about that. Mm-hmm. And then we have so much in common. We were bullied with the same struggles at a young age, and it was awesome to meet someone that understands what you're going through.
Well, it sounds like you've got a great mentor. That's awesome. Charlie, for those listening this morning, what would you suggest those who are parents, maybe even grandparents of children who are being victimized, how to begin the protection of their child?
I'd find a way to have just a one-to-one talk with her or him, because, they'll hide the seriousness of it, and I don't think they even know how to describe the seriousness of their emotional state. So communications first, you got to figure out how serious, because it can be extremely serious, and you could be completely in the dark about it. And secondly, I think with my daughter, we kind of isolated. One of the biggest things was no self-esteem. And we couldn't build it as a family. Okay, she had to build it on her own. So we found something that she enjoyed, that she was gifted at, and we built basically a world around that. So that's why we fly her all over the place for the UFC experiences, introduced her to everybody. And now she's got a platform. She can talk about it, actually, like today.
Well, we really appreciate you sharing with us this morning. Charlie Tietgen, my guest this morning, his lovely daughter, Claire. And if you'd like to know more about Claire and her story and find out some resources to help combat bullying, you can go to their website, welcometothetiegens.com. I'm going to put a link, but it's welcome, T-O-W, the Tietgens, Tietgens.com. Claire and Charles, brother, I appreciate you sharing your daughter's story. And Claire, thank you so much for coming in this morning.
Thank you.
Thanks.
The Slacker Morning Show.
I really like their morning show, too. I can laugh while I drive my kids to school.
I just love that station.
101 The Fox.